G'day, welcome back to the channel, and things progress. Now, the document drop I got from CAA was a big one. There was a huge amount of information in there. I'm going through it, sifting through it, and I've been sharing bits of that information with you on my community tab. Now, if you don't know, because you're a mobile user, every YouTube channel has a community tab where you can post stuff. It's like a little bulletin board. You can post messages and things. And I don't want to keep cluttering the channel up with videos about CAA because this is a fun channel. It's not a grizzle channel. It's a fun channel. So I've been putting a lot of that stuff on the community tab so that if you don't know the community tab is there, you probably haven't seen it. But now that you do know, go and see it. You may need a desktop or a laptop or something to actually access that tab, because I don't think mobile apps give you access to it. But it's very important that you do go and look at it. There's been quite a bit of stuff there worth looking at. But I'm going to share some of the other stuff with you in this video today, because there's several things I want to cover. Now, the first thing is I've got a document here which says Bruce Simpson has been spoken to numerous times about operating in breach of the rules. He often appears to do so deliberately to appeal to his online audience and as a way of voicing his disagreement with various Part 101 rules. Well, I think it's reasonable if you want to voice if you're opposition to something. I'm allowed to do it as much as anybody. While I can't say that this was his intent with this particular video, and one could argue that there was actually little safety risk created by the flying in question, so CAA themselves have acknowledged there was very little risk associated with this particular flight. But they do go on to say the fact still remains that he's clearly breached a number of rules. And remember, it's not about safety, it's about compliance. This is not a safety thing, it's a compliance thing. So they go on to say, in light of this current offending, I believe that consideration should be given to referring this matter to the RUI for enforcement action. So it's CAA basically saying, we're not interested. Safety doesn't concern us. It's compliance that concerns us. And that's not the right attitude for any regulator who's supposed to be keeping the sky safe. It's not a right attitude for them to have. I don't believe that should be the attitude. The primary concern should be, was this unsafe? And if it was unsafe, then yes, take them to the cleaners, rip them a new one, take them to court, fine them, whatever. But if you're acknowledging that something wasn't really unsafe, why are you bothering referring me for enforcement? Seriously, do you not have better things to do? It's a question I have to ask. I don't understand. Well, I do. We're talking about a bureaucracy here. Everything is just done by a list. It's common sense, pragmatism, and logic does not come into it. It's follow the rules. They have to follow their own, when it suits them, follow their internal rules. So that's the first little piece I thought I'd share with you. It shows that it's not safety, it's compliance. Now, here in New Zealand, we have a website called AirShare, and CAA and the Ministry of Transport have been encouraging drone and model flyers to register their flights with AirShare. You know, it's good. You should do it because it's good. It's the right thing to do, which is, and I've always said, no, don't register your flights, because it's a precursor to a UTM, it's a precursor to registration, it's a precursor to all the bad things we do not want or need. And interestingly enough, one of the things that CAA did was check and see if I was registered with AirShare, and here's what they said. I have a number of complaints I am investigating regarding a drone operator who is well known in the drone community and has his own YouTube channel, XJet, where he posts videos of his flights. The complaints are numerous, but there are a few where it is alleged he has flown within 4 kilometres of the Tokoroa Hospital heliport and the Tokoroa Aerodrome. Can you tell me if this person is registered with AirShare and whether he has registered any recent flights? If so, a record of his registered flights would be great. The most recent complaints cover the period of April 2020, but historic registrations would also be helpful if possible. So basically, again, AirShare is the site you go to incriminate yourself. Why would you do that? Why would you say, yes, look at me, I'm breaking the rules? Do not use AirShare. AirShare, I'm going to do another video on this later on, but AirShare is a commercial operation. It is designed to separate you from your money, and they have grandiose plans of changing the world with their own UTM. Yes, that's right. Although there are already plenty of companies such as Altitude Angel, who have fantastic UTM products. For some reason, AirShare thinks it's going to be better, and I tell you it's not. But don't support this. Don't. AirShare, no. Stay away. Stay right away. You're only encouraging them to do more, and we don't need that. Now, this next piece of correspondence is a doozy. It's great. It's from the CAA to the local council who operate the airfield. And obviously they had spoken already about this, and I'm pretty sure that the CAA had got a copy of the council's rules and the drone policy, so they knew it was legal for me to fly at the airfield. But that's not enough. Still hoping like hell to catch me out. This is what they said. Could you advise if Mr. Simpson has any arrangements with the aerodrome or South Waikato Council regarding his drone flying? I understand he rents a hangar at the aerodrome, and one of his recent videos showed him chasing away magpies with his drone at the aerodrome. Is this legal and part of any agreement he has with the South Waikato District Council? So they want to know if I've got an agreement to chase away magpies at the airfield. I've got an agreement. Anyone can fly there if they have model flying New Zealand wings. It's in the council's own documentation. But they want to know specifically if I'm entitled to chase magpies away from the airfield. It's like there'd be a special clause. Yes, this entitles the model flight to chase magpies. Dig in deep. Okay, there's another piece in this particular piece of correspondence, or another piece of correspondence, that says here, to fly within 4 kilometres of an aerodrome or heliport, the operator needs to have an agreement and notify the aerodrome operators. The operator also needs to fly in a shielded operation or have an observer present if flying out of line of sight. It's not true. It's not true. You do not need an arrangement with an airport operator if you're flying a shielded operation. You don't need to ring up the airfield or get an arrangement if you're flying a shielded operation. Shielded operations legally allow you to fly within 4 kilometres of an airfield without an arrangement. That's what the CAA rules say. They specifically that's the thing about shielded operations. You don't have to have an arrangement. Mr. Gooch, has he changed the rules all by himself? Is he making representations in respect to the rules that are not true and not backed up by the actual documents? Or is it just an honest mistake? I'm having a lot of trouble with this. I make honest mistakes and I put them right and I learn from them. So I don't make many honest mistakes. And when I do, I apologise. But if you make honest mistake after honest mistake after honest mistake, how long is it before you acknowledge we actually have a problem here? We have a problem because this many honest mistakes are no longer honest mistakes. They are a systemic problem that needs to be addressed. And it really does need to be addressed, because who is going to be the next victim of a CAA honest mistake? And their comeback will be just like ours, nothing. CAA are not held accountable, they are not held responsible, they don't care. Everybody still gets their coffee and scones and biscuits, everybody's happy at CAA, but the people who are the victims of honest mistakes, that just keep on giving, I don't know what the next one will be. I haven't finished looking through the documents, but there's bound to be more. And I don't want to have to keep ragging on CAA. I would much rather that they didn't make honest mistakes, that they just did things, paid attention to detail, the same level of attention to detail they demand of every document holder that they regulate, and every model flyer they regulate. They demand attention to detail. You can't skip a step or you get in trouble. And they, as I said in the beginning of this, they're not interested in safety. Safety is not their concern. I don't know why they exist, because their concern is simply enforcement of compliance, and that doesn't guarantee safety. We've seen that time and time again. For example, apparently I am a risk to, in some of the flights, it was alleged I'm a risk to the rescue helicopter at the hospital here, because my little tiny drone could bang into that helicopter and bring it down. Yet we've got swans out here, swans in the lake, the very same lake I'm flying over, swans. Those swans fly around here, they don't recognise the danger of a helicopter. There are plenty of instances on record where swans have crashed into airplanes. Birds strike with airplanes and helicopters. Swans are huge birds. I don't know what they weigh, 6-7 kilos? 25 grams? Seriously? If you're prepared to fly a helicopter over a lake with these huge swans flying around and you're scared of this, seriously, as I said, it's not about safety. If it was about safety, these things wouldn't even count for anything. And that's really kind of upsetting. But I've got a plan. I've got a plan. I mentioned this on my community tab, and it seems to be well received, certainly by the people who watch this channel. Now, let's give CAA the benefit of the doubt yet again, because I don't want to keep pillorying them for their ridiculous, honest mistakes. And there are obvious agendas here to enforcement action on this guy. Even though we agree it was probably safe, we've got to enforce our regulations on him because reasons. So let's give CAA an opportunity to put it right. No, CAA are worried. I'll put another document up on the community tab showing that they're concerned about their reputation. They believe I've done damage to their reputation and it's terrible, and they value their reputation amongst the RPAS community, the remotely piloted aircraft system community, which includes model aircraft flyers, drone flyers, and anyone else that flies RPAS. They value that reputation, and I have damaged it. I haven't damaged it. I don't pose a risk to their reputation. They pose a risk to their reputation. As I've said, I do not set out to make CAA look bad. They don't need my help. They do it all by themselves, not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times, 4 times more. They do it every day almost. I can keep rolling these videos out every day if they want me to, but I would rather not do that. Certainly I would rather not do that, because unlike CAA, my goal is safety. My goal is just to make sure that everybody's happy, everybody's safe. I'm not out here to nail people to a cross, even though I think some of them should be. So here's my proposal to CAA. I want you to get all your investigators, all of them, bring them down to Tokoroa here, to our airfield. And I'll bring out drones and model aircraft and other people that fly these things. And maybe we'll even invite some of the manned aviation community so we can have a great big sit down and sort this whole goddamn mess out, because it needs sorting. And I'm sure that CAA, if they are true to their commitment to maintain their reputation, they'll turn up. They will. They'll turn up because they want to preserve their reputation. It's a chance for them to rebuild bridges that they have burnt. So I'd like the opportunity to do that, because I can show them. I can show them what it looks like through these goggles, because they don't know what it looks like. They've got no clue what is on this side of those goggles. They don't. They're operating from a position of ignorance, and that's never a good position to operate from. They don't know what it looks like to see through the DJI digital goggles. And again, we can show them. Wow, that's even better than eyesight almost. Fantastic. I also want to show them the really, really, really important thing. I will get a Phantom drone. Phantom 4, Phantom, whatever I can get my hands on, I'll get a Phantom drone. I will put it there. Actually, I might not use a Phantom because you can't fly them at an airfield. They've got geofencing. I'll get another GPS stabilized drone. I've actually got a Walkera drone, which I got years ago, I reviewed. I'll use that. Put that on the ground. They will then be invited to fly it. Take it off, move it around, land it. And they'll all be able to do it, because as we know, push the stick up, the drone goes up. Push the stick down, the drone goes down. Push the stick left, the drone goes left. You know, it is so simple. Let go of the sticks and the drone just stays there. It is so simple to fly a GPS stabilized drone. Then I will give them a mini quad and say, fly that in rate mode. There you go, have a go. And we'll just watch it tumble down the runway time and time again. Then we'll give them a foamy, a fixed wing foamy, an AXN or something, and we'll watch that roll down the runway time and time again. We'll get across to them the fact that GPS stabilized camera drones are so completely different to the traditional hobby and mini quads that there's no way you should have a common rule set. Yeah, some of the rules will be common, but really, seriously, if someone is going to go to all the trouble of learning to fly a mini quad or a model aircraft, they're going to have a lot more knowledge, understanding and awareness than someone who just goes down to the local department store and buys a Phantom 4 and takes it out and tries to film aircraft at the local international airport. Those are the things we've got to get across. Model aircraft, the traditional hobby, is different to drones. We do not fly drones when we fly model aircraft. We fly model aircraft. When we fly mini quads, we fly mini quads. Although commonly they're called drones, they have no GPS. They have no return to home. If you don't fly them, they fall out of the sky onto the ground. And it's really hard to fly a mini quad in rate mode if you've never flown anything before. It's really easy to fly a Phantom. I want to get these things across, because until they are aware of this, and until Chris and Doug and even Mr. Winter sit down and see for themselves what it is that they are trying to regulate, I don't think they will ever do the job adequately. So here's the opportunity. I will be drafting up a formal letter to Mr. Winter, to Mr. Dean Winter, inviting him and all his investigators down for just one day at the airfield to actually experience the things that they're regulating. It may change their minds. I'm pretty sure it'll change their minds. And they'll also get a chance to see what we do from a safety perspective. The stuff you don't necessarily see on the videos, but everybody does it. The safety things we do to make sure that no one gets hurt. No one has been hurt. And no property has been damaged. No aircraft have been brought down. Remember, the death toll associated with recreational multi-rotor use is 0 in all of time around the whole globe. That's how safe it is. They can't boast that level of safety with any other part of aviation. We need to show them why that is. So that's what I'm planning. I'd like to hear what you think. Is that a good idea? Do you think they will say yes? Because this puts the ball firmly back in their court. I've put the ball in their court so often. Now this is their last opportunity to return serve. If Mr. Winter contacts me and says, yes, we would love to avail ourselves of that opportunity, I will organise a time, I will organise a date, I will organise people, I'll organise craft, we'll get everyone down and we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it'll be a very positive outcome. And I'm hoping with an open mind that Mr. Winter will embrace the offer and do the right thing and educate. Remember, this could be an educative experience for the CAA, and God knows they need it. They really do. Maybe we could give them some computer training at the same time so they can learn to use spell checkers and email and stuff like that. I don't know. But mainly I want to focus on showing them the hobby and basically dismantling this impression they must have that everything we do endangers life, because it's just not true. So there you go. Go to the comments now. Tell me what you think. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but I know there's been people saying, oh, you stop bashing on CAA, get on with the flight videos. Well, the last 2 videos I posted were me flying, but you've got to realise that every time I go out and fly, I've got to check the bushes, because Karen could be there looking to film me and dob me in. And the problem is that CAA, they're not going to say enough. They're going to say, oh, we'll investigate him again, because it doesn't matter how safe he's flying, it's compliance. It's compliance. And I dare say I've ruffled enough feathers at CAA that they would really like to deal to me. So I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of that. I'm just waiting for the day when I can stand up in a court of law and say, Your Honour. But we'll see what happens. I'd rather not go there. I'm hoping CAA don't want to go there. I'm hoping we can sort this whole thing out so that CAA can do the right thing, and people around the country and around the world will go, ooh, bloody good job, CAA. We're getting some respect for you now. Balls in your court, CAA. I will be drafting the email up today. I'll send it today or tomorrow, and I will post a copy of it on the community tab so you can all see what I said. And when the reply comes back, I'll post that as well, if we get a reply back. I'm certainly hoping we do, but there's no guarantees. Anyway, that's it for me. I've got a lot of stuff to do. I'm actually moving house at the moment, which is a real pain, writing the wrong things. And I will be coming back to you regarding what we do over the 2 boys, because I'm not letting that drop. I don't care what positive moves CAA want to make in the future. This is past, and it needs to be drawn to the attention of the public in a very public way, and I'm going to do that. But then we draw a line in the sand and say, CAA, now the ball is in your court. There you go. Thanks for watching. So much to do. Bye for now.